Hi guys, and today we are just going to talk about Sanskrit origins. Today we are just going to talk about this one, but from another point of view. I mean, you know that Sanskrit Origins is one of the best Sanskrit game that ever was created by for me, especially in the last times. For example, from Raj or Sanskrit Valhalla or Sanskrit Syndicate or Sanskrit Odyssey. Is just a simple expression, but you know that I prefer this one. If you don't just saw any of my last videos when I talk about Sanskrit Syndicate or Sanskrit Masala, please at first subscribe and then just go and watch them because I mean that you're just going to have my channel a lot, and I hope you enjoy this video like you enjoyed the other ones. If you haven't, just go and watch them. So, I was saying that Sanskrit origins is one of the coolest one, not only for Egypt in general, because I mean, you are just going to know, or in general, you're just going to see in the videos, in the clips that I just created for this game, that is quite a really beautiful game that you're just going to use it and replay out of times. For example, I played it like 6 or 7 times, so you know that I know it very well, and honestly, I really like that. I already completed the two DLCs, so the one that was with the pharaohs and the other one that was like the hidden one DLC. If you don't have, if you don't know anything about these DLCs, I will create a video apart from this one, but you will just going to see, for example, a sequel in a video that I'm just going to leave it down below. So just let you just see this video and understand what I'm talking about and what I'm going to show. Okay? So, at first, Assassin's Creed Origins has a really good story, not only for the place where you are just going to see the main story, the main plot, but obviously for the characters. Because when we talk about Assassin's Creed Origins, we're going to just talk about Caesar, Cleopatra, Bayek, Aya. All of these characters are really good, not only for this one, but even in the DLCs, just going to find some characters that are going to be really, really good. Even if it's not all good, because you know that in general, when we talk about Sanskrit origins, you are just going to listen many options because, for example, everybody is going to just say that Sanskrit origins is a really good Assassin's Creed game for its setting, its characters, its combat. Because for me, its combat is like in top 5 in all of Assassin's Creed, or even in top 3. I don't know exactly where I'm just going to put it, but it's like kinda top 5 nearly. And not only for that, but for me, it's kinda cool even the parkour. I know that you're just going to say that I'm just crazy because Assassin's Creed Origins is the first one that just took parkour and just changed it a lot. And it doesn't change the really good, for example, when it was in Assassin's Creed Unity, but it just became worse and worse. Even with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that is not that great. But if you try to just push it in its limits, you're going to see a really beautiful game. In all of these clips, I am using just, and I'm not just using any type of modes. I'm just playing it from my PS4, so you understand that this game can has a really good potential, even with story, the characters, and the main plot. Because when we talk about this one, you're going to see that the main problem is the stealth, the parkour, and the villains. For me, it's not like this, because for me, when I say about Sanskrit origins, these things, I see something. Because when we talk about parkour, it can be good. It's not the greatest. It's not the better. They just the the craziest one. Because we know that Unity can be the greatest one, but it can be different. But for me, it could have been a really good start point because with the Sanskrit Origins stealth and obviously parkour, you can just go wherever you want and you just can be quite smooth and clean. But if Ubisoft just try to explain it and just became it like the 100% version of it, you could have been one of the best ones in the entire franchise. Then, obviously, I said before that in general the combat is pretty cool and pretty good because you know that, and obviously it's not like with full with all those abilities. It's just kind of fun and hard to play. You even if you just play it in the the most difficult difficulty, because when you play it you understand that it's going to be really difficult just to kill an enemy, just a normal one, not only the captains or even the bosses. Then, the main plot with the villains, I understand that they aren't always good. For example, the last ones are not even good, but Caesar was pretty fucking clean villain. Even with Cleopatra, because we could have been a sequel that could have just became another thing, not Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but something that could have been just more clearly into the Roman Empire. Because when we talk about this one, you're just going to say that Aya is in Rome and Bayek is nearly in the Egyptian part or in the African one. So you could have just do this by just letting Bayek go around and Aya just try to destroy the Templars into the Romanian Empire. And only for this one, we talk about, for example, stealth, because yeah, if we don't have a lot of tools and a lot of things that we could just use in stealth missions, you just can use some tools that are in your inventory, but you can't just select easy and just quick in your quick inventory, but you always have to just open your inventory, just select this, and then you just going to use it. If we could have just used more tools and could have just used a quick menu, for me Assassin's Creed Stealth could have been really cool, because we could have been just a really good potential. Even when we talk about the stealth, even if I liked it, the problem that I just see in this one is just like how they can just do some kills. The point that they just don't have a lot of animations that could have been done really more stealthy or differently, because in the parts that you are just going to play as Aya, she could have used many new animations, but unfortunately she just uses the same ones as Bayek. But if you just took out the elements such as parkour, but parkour, I said that before that it's kinda cool, but it could have been good. Parkour, stealth tools, because stealth is pretty cool. The point was that stealth tools, and obviously social stealth that wasn't in Assassin's Creed Origins, but it was a really good point because Assassin's Creed Origins were the creation of the quiz, so it's normal to just don't doesn't have the social self, but you could just use that in a future game, not in Odyssey. Obviously, you use it in Valhalla, but it's just kind of useful. So they were like just spread out and just okay, you can use it, but anyone can just don't use it because it's kind of useful in every game. I mean, in every last games. Not in Mirage, but in Valhalla and obviously Odyssey. Yeah, if you just take these elements out of my list, you're just going to have a really pretty game. And guys, we have to talk about obviously graphics, because Assassin's Creed Origins has a really good graphics, and for example, it's kinda one of the best ones with Unity, Syndicate, and the last ones. Obviously, when we talk about the last ones, it's kind of obvious. But when we talk about obviously some games that are kind of 10 years old, for example Unity, Syndicate, and Origins, we're going to talk about some games that are really old, if you can say that, but are kind of great. So that's the point. And yeah, after this one, we can always talk about the action, the scenes, and obviously the quality of the scenes and the quality of animation, and even with the vocal actors that they are really really good in this game. For me, when you talk about Assassin's Creed Odyssey or even Valhalla and Mirage, you're just going to see a lower potential with the vocal lines when we talk about these ones confronts to Assassin's Creed Origins, because Assassin's Creed Origins is pretty cool and obviously has many points that are better than these wins. So that's kind of old. You know that I really appreciate that game, and for me it's kinda 8.5 game out of 10. It could have been more, but it could have been even less. We talk about the last ones. You know my list, and I'm going to just create a new one after Assassin's Creed Shadows release. So that's all for this one, and that's all for today, guys. So let's just subscribe to my channel, and we're going just to see each other to the next through the next time. See you. Bye, guys.